Pokemon Nuzlocks are a way for masochists to relive their childhood nostalgia. This challenge makes the game a living hell for me, but entertaining for you, the viewer. Because everyone knows how a Nuzlocke works, I'm going to fly through the basic rules. If a Pokemon faints, it's dead. You have to catch your first encounter each route. Static encounters don't count. Nickname all encounters so you're emotionally invested in them. When they die, you get really sad. Whiting or blacking out makes you restart. Items can't be used in battles, and in our case, the run was randomized. I had to rewatch over 60 hours of my pain and suffering. So I hope you enjoy. Let's go! Now, with all that information, I headed into attempt number 1 with my head held high and selected my starter, Bagon. After making short work of our rival, I encountered my first wild Pokemon, Genesect. The 300 million year old ancient... Okay, never mind. Doesn't matter. Couldn't catch him and he killed me. That's fine. Okay? That's fine. Attempt number 2 will be so much better. We clutch and catch a wild Garchomp. Easily wipe the first 2 gyms. And then lose Garchomp to Hydreigon, and then die to the 3rd gym.
Are you serious? This is torture.
I think you're starting to see a trend. Attempt number 3, deaths by an Altaria. Attempt number 4, death by a wild Flygon. We don't talk about attempt 5.
We don't talk about
Attempt 5. Attempt 6, Berg killed us again. Attempt 7, death by ends Trico. Attempt 8 ends Dino landing a critical hit. And then we got to attempt 9. The 9th attempt is when runs really started to turn around.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
We were catching encounters and are actually able to clear the gyms without too much effort. Successfully catching Dialga before the 3rd gym gave our team a surge in strength.
3?
Baby! Berg was crushed without a second thought. The 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th gyms were defeated with ease. Then, Bianca decided to have a Ho-Oh. Which destroyed Dialga, and madness began to ensue. Got my kill. We laid waste to the 8th gym, and then the first trainer in Victory Road decided to have an over-leveled Ho-Oh, and I think this can summarize what happened.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
Hey, you're finally awake.
Now, I'm going to be really honest with you guys. There are a lot more attempts, so I'm going to speed through the next 20 and quickly summarize what happened extremely fast just to get you guys to the final attempt. So, attempt number 10, N had a Jirachi. Attempt number 11, the first gym leader killed me. Attempt number 12, got greedy trying to catch a Keldeo. Attempt number 13, Hydreigon with a Dragon Rage, wiped my entire stack team because Dragon Rage earlier on in the game is fucking ridiculous. Attempt 14, a viewer sent me $100 and I got distracted and died to a wild Jirachi. Attempt 15, a random ace trainer in Chargestone Cave decided to have a cracked team and kill me. Attempt 16, an early Sableye that I could not hit because I only had normal type attacks.
What the fuck, Richard?
Attempt number 17, the 7th gym leader having a Ho-Oh wiping my entire team. Attempt number 18, the first gym being randomized to ghost type so I couldn't hit them. Attempt 19, Sharon being insanely strong. Attempt 20, a trainer in the 2nd gym having a Reshiram.
I'm God.
Attempt 21, literally probably the most ridiculous one. I got soft locked in Pokemon because I couldn't do a double battle because I only had one Pokemon. Attempt 22, the 7th gym leader having the world's most cracked Empoleon. Attempt 23, a rogue Mandibuzz. Attempt 24, Sharon after the 6th gym having the craziest luck and his Marowak literally living on 1 HP. Attempt 25, Gengar. Attempt 26, an early Reshiram with Dragon Rage. Attempt 27, another early Reshiram. Attempt 28, Jirachi refusing to die. Attempt 29, Gyarados. And last but certainly not least, attempt 30, the final attempt. I told chat that no matter what, win or lose, this would be my last try beating the Pokemon Black randomized Nuzlocke, and we were off to a fantastic start with immediately getting a Garchomp. Now, quick disclaimer, because this is the final attempt, I will be going in depth for the entirety of the run, so I hope you enjoy this change and make sure to wait to the end to see what happens. But, that being said, after literally smearing Bianca and Sharon on the floor, I went and caught a Musharna, got given a Nidoking, and crushed the first gym. Things were finally starting to look up for me and our team.
What is it they've sent us?
Hope.
With the addition of Lilligant and Beartic, our team swept through the second gym and headed onward to Pinwheel Forest, where things took a rapid and steep decline.
Julian.
Lass Eva decided to lead off the battle with a Kyurem. And Kyurem is an ice dragon type, and this put our team in an extremely disadvantageous scenario. Rewatching this, I honestly don't think I played it that bad.
Stop the cap.
But it still doesn't change the fact we lost Garchomp. How does this keep happening? And this really put a damper on our spirits, but the run must go on. I then cleared the rest of our Ice-type team with authority, trying to exact some sort of revenge for the loss of our beloved Garchomp. I also caught a Torchic, which is one of my favorite starters, and made Team Plasma run for the hills as I cleaned them out of Pinwheel Forest. After this harrowing experience in the forest, I marched on to find myself standing face to face with the third gym leader, Berg, once again. So many runs were ended by the hands of this psychopath. After just losing our strongest team member, my stomach was in my throat and I challenged him once again. His team was poison type and we had a strong psychic type, and cut through him like butter. I wiped his entire team like it was nothing and never looked back.
You're gonna make me cry. See you later, fuckface.
Moving on from Berg, we went straight to the fourth gym, and on our way there, we found a Garchomp, and out of respect for our first leader, we named him Astolfo once again. The fourth gym was randomized to bug type, and our whole team was incredibly weak, so this proved to be no challenge at all. Afterwards, Alder wanted me and Sharon to beat the shit out of two toddlers so he could deem us worthy to lower a bridge so we can continue our journey or something. I honestly don't really know why he makes us fight them. They're literally toddlers and you just curb stomp them. Anyways, after crossing the bridge, we eliminate the plasma threat from the abandoned storage, as well as make short work as the fifth gym leader. Now that we can use Fly, the fossils that we've been randomly finding all over the world can be stored, and from this, we received a Ferrothorne and a Lotad. Due to random evolution being a factor in this Nuzlocke, I leveled up Lotad and he turned into an Empoleon, which is fantastic because it balanced off our team perfectly. Then, as we ventured through Chargestone Cave, we encountered N.
He's just standing there, menacingly.
N went down with little to no trouble at all. And from this, I also had the world's most intimidating rotational battle of all time. We're in so much trouble. But after surviving the rotational battle, Ding Ding, our initial Bellsprout, evolved into Celebi. This is very important to note. This is when the game starts getting exponentially harder. Remember the rule about when an enemy has a Pokemon that is level 35, they're fully evolved? Well, guess what level Skyla's ace is? That's right, 35. In this situation, we were very lucky because Skyla decided to have a team of water types, which we had a variety of answers to. But from here on out, we had to start playing perfectly. After defeating Skyla, we fought Sharon once again and wiped through his fire-type team with Empoleon. Next was Twist Mountain, where we found an Electivire and Clinical Depression. Astolfo left a Giratina with less than 10% health and was killed for his mistakes. To follow this up, Giratina decided it would Destiny Bond Empoleon, taking them both out.
Emotional damage.
Not like this, not like this. Two of our biggest players were taken out, but we did manage to survive Twist Mountain. And while gathering encounters before the 7th gym, we ended up catching a Latios, Dragonite, and a Moltres, which boosted our confidence back in the run. After grinding to ensure they were the appropriate level, we took on Bryson, and with a crit that did not matter, we took him out without breaking a sweat. I went into Celestial Tower, and after showing Team Plasma why you should not fuck with a 12-year-old,
What the fuck is up, Kyle? No, what did you say, dude? What the fuck, dude?
I ran into N taming Zekrom at the top of the tower, which essentially triggers the story to proceed. After convincing a group of the most influential people in Unova that I am the one destined to fight N, they give me the Lightstone, which will allow us to summon Reshiram. However, there are more important matters to attend to, like fighting Bianca for the billionth time and putting her in her place for the last time.
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
With a genuinely stressful battle due to our entire team being paralyzed, we made it through with 0 fatalities. Okay, we beat Bianca and didn't lose a single Pokemon. That is so huge. I would like to say the next bit is an extremely sad moment in our run. While trying to catch a wild Genesect, Latios got crit 2 moves in a row and died. God, oh my goodness, no. We also didn't catch the Genesect. Then, Masharda died while we were trying to catch a wild Rayquaza, who we also didn't catch. Basically, they are completely unavoidable deaths and we've still made 0 mistakes. Moving on. We are now on the final gym, and because it was ground type, Moltres was immune to most of their moves and absolutely crushed it with zero hesitation. And we are now on to Victory Road in the Elite Four. After getting handed a Master Ball from the professor, it was time to fight Sharon before Victory Road. And oh boy was his team stacked. Casually starting off with the Rayquaza really made me want to flip my desk. Especially after I was forced to switch off Nidoking and he one-shot crit my Moltres, thus probably killing my team's strongest member. And I feel like every fight goes like this. I start getting some momentum and my main powerhouse dies. But oh well. Anyways, between his Kricketune, Latios, and Altaria, we managed to do some good switches and abuse the fact his Latios could not hit our Umbreon, and so we were actually able to beat him with only this one loss. We quickly restocked our team and headed into Victory Road, where all things were going smoothly until we ran into veteran Tiffany. Her team was not even that strong. Either that or I severely do not understand Octillery. Octillery was paralyzed, so I knew Nidoking would be faster, and he's below half health. So I thought Sludge Bomb would do enough damage to kill the below half health paralyzed Octillery with a 3-level lead on him. You actually kidding me? I guess I was wrong. I left him on 2% HP and lost my Nidoking. I don't know if this is extremely unlucky or if I just completely underestimated Octillery, as I mentioned before, but I don't fucking know. Anyways, the team was definitely starting to fall apart. And so what did I do? How did I bounce back from this situation? Well, I threw on some funny videos so chat didn't get bored and leave me alone, and I mindlessly grinded for a ridiculous amount of time to get my team strong enough to go back into Victory Road. After these countless hours grinding, we finally made it back to Victory Road, and we absolutely crushed through the battles. We made it to the Pokemon League at last. With the final preparations completed, we were ready to go.
Okay, let's go.
Our team for the Elite Four is as follows. Ding Ding the Celebi, Sandy Snout the Nidoqueen, Spike the Ferrothorne, Tiny Flyer the Dragonite, Mooney the Umbreon, and Rain the Slowbro. The first Elite Four member we faced was Chantal, whose team had no rhyme or reason behind it. For her Empoleon we used Celebi, who had absolutely no problems taking him out. And next was her Darmanitan, so I switched to Nidoqueen, thinking her resistance to fire would help it. But it really did nothing at all. He nearly killed our Nidoqueen, so we had to switch to Slowpoke, who also almost died, but was able to barely hang on and get through an attack to finish him off. Just do half health. Super effective move. Stab. All the fucking, it's just a good move. Good. Darmanitan's dead. We're fine. We're fine. To finish her off, we switched to Dragonite, who cleaned up her Simisage and Cacturne with absolutely no troubles at all.
Know your fucking place, trash.
On to Grimsley, who led with a Sableye. What an absolute idiot. I switched into Ferrothorne, set up, and easily kill him. If this is the strength of the second Elite Four member, we're gonna be absolutely completely fine. Oh, his next Pokemon's Darmanitan. Okay, I should be completely fine to switch. Wait, I set up using Ingrain. I can't switch. Our first loss to the Elite Four is Ferrothorne. Your time on our team was short, but it was not forgotten. Now, anyways, we switched to Slowbro and easily destroy the Darmanitan and his Lickilicky. Then, for his Lunatone, we switched into Mooney and successfully take out the second Elite Four member. 2 of the 4 down halfway, and nothing can impede our progress. The next Elite Four member we faced was Caitlyn, who led with a Regigigas. His large health pool was proving so hard to get through, along with his slow start ability was wearing off. For those who don't know, on his 5th turn, he loses his ability Slow Start, which halves almost all of his stats, all of a sudden turning into an absolute powerhouse. Caitlyn had used both her full restores on it, so I had to switch off Celebi because I couldn't risk losing such a valuable Pokemon. I switched to Dragonite, and luckily the Regigigas used Foresight, and we were able to get off a Dragon Tail to force it to switch out. It switched into Gengar, who we paralyzed, and switched into Umbreon to Shadow Ball it down. The fight got a lot easier after this point. That start was so incredibly stressful, I cannot emphasize how flustered and panicked I was in the moment. Her next Pokemon was Plusle, who died to our Nidoqueen effortlessly. As well, when she switched into a Regigigas, the slow start ability was back into effect. He was below 5% health, so Nidoqueen easily finished her off. Her last Pokemon was Electivire, who couldn't even damage Nidoqueen, So down goes the third Elite Four member, and on to the last, but certainly not the least. It was time to face Marshall, who kicked things off with an Umbreon of his own, so we developed this amazing strategy where we just Dragon Tail things we don't know how to kill, thus dragging out his Wish Cache, so we switched to Celebi to one-shot it swiftly. His next Pokemon was Cacturne, and we countered with Nidoqueen, who sludge bombed him down. And then his Zebstrika was breathed on to die, who flinched our Nidoqueen like 18 times in a row. It was so infuriating. He was literally so low, he just wouldn't die. To be as cliche as possible, we sent out our Umbreon versus his to see who was the better trainer. An Umbreon at full health or an Umbreon who is literally at 1. You'll never guess who ended up winning this battle. With that absolutely cinematic and picture-perfect ending, we defeated the fourth and final Elite Four member. We now had to get on an elevator, which was surely violating a variety of safety standards and codes to get to the champion. Or so I thought. It turns out Team Plasma was doing a little scheming and built this ridiculous castle. How no one was aware of them building this massive mansion underground beneath the Pokemon League, I do not know. I do know I have to battle all 7 sages. Turns out all the gym leaders show up and let us off easy, so we are now allowed to approach N, who is in the middle of his victorious anime monologue when our Lightstone decides to turn into Reshiram, which is actually Landorus, and using our Mass Ball from the professor, we instantly catch Landorus, call it don't lose, and add it to our team. N tops off our Pokemon, and we now get ready to face the final fight. N's team is actually kind of insane, leading with Conkeldurr, so we have to use Slowbro to deal with him, and this is actually no problem. His Psychic takes out Conkeldurr with no issues. His next Pokemon is Breloom, so I switch to the Landorus, who's immediately sent to below half health. So by switching into Celebi, I Fire Punch it down and successfully kill the Breloom. His third Pokemon was Hitmonchan, who had Fire Punch to use against Celebi. So we switched back to Slowpoke, who resists all of his move and heals using Slack Off and kills it with Psychic. For his second Breloom, I switched to Dragonite, who gets put to sleep and confused, so I switch off him into Nidoqueen, who is able to actually kill the Breloom. His second last Pokemon was Flygon, who we paralyzed with Dragon's Breath, then switched to our Umbreon to whittle it down to the last of its health, just leaving him with his one and final Pokemon, the legendary Hitmontop. So we switch back to Slowbro and one-shot it with Psychic. N has been dethroned. The game is finally over. We've done it. Objection! There's more? There's another fight? Okay, fuck it. Let's run it. This is the true final boss of the game. The true leader of Team Plasma gets us. I am immediately intimidated by his first Pokemon, Excadrill, whose sword dances and is faster than my Slowbro. He kills him immediately. Oh no, this isn't good. I don't like that move. One of my Pokemon has already been defeated and I haven't even touched his Excadrill. I desperately switched to Dragonite, and luckily he Sandstormed instead of using Stone Edge, and Dragonite was able to kill the +2 Excadrill, easing a little bit of the pressure Getsis was applying to us. Then, Getsis follows up with Primeape, who we were able to paralyze, and Dragon Tail, which was actually able to one-shot. His third Pokemon was Moltres, and our strategy was back in full effect. We Dragon Tailed it and forced it to swap with his fourth Pokemon, Darmanitan, which we were able to Earthquake and one-shot. Don't forget, our leftovers has been helping Dragonite a significant amount, constantly restoring his health and negating that Sandstorm. We switched into Nidoqueen, whose Sludge Bomb eliminated the threat. His fifth Pokemon was Sunflora, who died to Nidoqueen with absolutely no problems, leaving him with but one, his last and final Pokemon, Ninetales, which was an Earthquake one-shot away from winning the Nuzlocke, and Nidoqueen delivered, thus officially ending the Pokemon Black Hardcore Randomized Nuzlocke, attempt 30, my final attempt. We had done it. The pain and suffering of it was now over, and I can finally say I was able to complete it. All those sleepless nights, all those anxiety-filled dreams of this Nuzlocke were finally at a rest. If you enjoyed, please do like the video, subscribe and share. It really does help the channel a lot. And be sure to check back in on me. I try to go live every Sunday, as well as post videos like this every once in a while. We do all sorts of shenanigans just like this. So, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch us, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. You're dismissed.